And we are live. Welcome back to Takes by Fans. We got a great show for you today. As always, we are live every single day at noon Eastern. If you want to watch live, head over to twitch.tv/takesbyfans. If you want to watch but not live, head over to our YouTube channel, Takes by Fans. We post all of our shows and clips of the show there on a daily basis. And if you just want to listen, we are on podcasting apps, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio. So, however you want to watch or listen, we've got you covered multiple ways. Alrighty, folks, today's a big ol' Sunday. Happy Easter if you celebrate this holiday with the bunny and the Jesus and all that. So, happy Easter to everybody out there. But who cares about Easter, right? Do we even care? Today's Easter Sunday because it's NBA playoff Sunday as well. So, we got basketball, we got Ags all today. But we got to get focused and get right for today's NBA playoff action, folks, because we absolutely killed it last night. We went 3 of 4 in our picks, but, we wanted to kind of test the waters of that Warriors series, so we just took the points. But now, man, oh man, that Warriors team, they truly proved what they needed to prove last night. So we're breaking down all the 4 NBA playoff games from round 1, day 1 of the 2022 NBA playoffs, breaking down the games from last night, preparing to bet today, folks. Take that Easter money that you found in the Ags today from the Easter Bunny, and go out and bet some NBA playoff basketball today because, folks, I am absolutely loving the value today, folks. I am loving the value. I'm going to tell you how to bet it 2 ways. There's a prop bet I love, folks. I am loving the slate of basketball today, folks. We have our finger on the pulse. We know what we're talking about, and we're about to cash in today, folks. I am loving the games today. So, breaking down the games from last night, betting on the games tonight. What else could be better on this great NBA Sunday crossed with the holiday of Easter, folks? So, let's kick it off, and then maybe we'll get to some NFL. There's not a lot to talk about there, but maybe we'll get to that. Oh, yeah, the USFL was on last night. Do we care? Honestly, folks, I mean, it was playoff basketball. That had my attention. I did not watch USFL football yesterday. I heard it was good. I heard it was decent. I heard the camera, the drones were cool, and that was really it. But, I mean, folks, we're talking about playoff basketball. You think we're going to divert our attention from playoff basketball to spring football that absolutely means nothing? We may not even get the same league next year, so we'll watch it, but I don't know if we can watch it today either. I mean, once again, playoff basketball on all day. But our New Orleans Breakers, they do play today, so we're rooting for them. Go Breakers, go Breakers. Okay. And we may have to blow our nose multiple times through the show today because I don't know what it is today. I woke up today and I was just super moist. I'm a little moist out here today, folks. A lot of moisture in the mouth, a lot of moisture in the nasal. So if we have to blow our nose, please excuse us today, folks. Alrighty, let's just jump right into it. Let's start with the NBA games from last night and then work our way through our traditions of what we do here on the show. So, here we go. Let's start breaking down the games from last night, folks, and they were all really, really great. So, let's start with this first one up. Jazz at the Mavs. No Luka Doncic for the Mavericks, and they almost said no problem. Almost said no problem last night. Jazz, they do get the win, 99-93, a nice 6-point win. They cover the 5.5-point spread, so that's bingo, bango, check mark, 1 of 1 from our bets last night. Jazz minus the 5.5. Donovan Mitchell at the free throw line, cashing out down the stretch to help us cover that 5.5-point spread by 0.5 point. Gotta love it. Now, the Mavericks, they were absolutely getting it done in the first half. They weren't getting it done scoring the ball, but they were getting it done defensively, locking up the Jazz, and this game was pretty close. The Mavericks were leading for a good portion of it. The Jazz weren't able to kind of open up a big lead, and the big lead that they did have disappeared in this game because classic Jazz fashion of blowing leads, blowing games. So we still like the Mavericks in this series. Once Luka Doncic comes back, I'm going to kind of re-pivot to the Mavericks winning this series because this Jazz team is still the same old Jazz team. Nothing clutch, nothing great. Rudy Gobert looking sloppy sometimes, other times looking good. He's a good defender down low, but him catching the ball sometimes it's sloppy. He had one shot. That's all he did yesterday, one shot and missed it. So Rudy Gobert, I mean, I even heard the announcer, it was Stan Van Gundy last night calling this game, and, he was talking about Rudy Gobert deserves so much more recognition and attention, and he's so much better than people give him credit for, and I don't think he is, folks. I truly don't think he is. Yes, he plays some good defense here and there, but when you watch him over the course of an entire game, the man is not as consistent as, a Giannis, as a Brook Lopez, as a Joel Embiid, all these other great, better, kind of five centers, bigs out here. So Rudy Gobert is still not really moving the needle for us. He's the media's star child for some reason, but man, oh man, he needs to get it together. I mean, him not having success and him not putting up like 20 plus points last night going against Dwight Powell. I mean, what are we doing? What are we doing out here, Jazz? They don't know how to run their own team. They truly don't know what they have on this squad. So, after game one of this Jazz-Mav series, we do not like the Jazz, but the Mavericks, they don't have Luka. So until Luka comes, we're still going to be rocking with the Jazz. We don't have a lot of confidence in this Jazz team, but once Luka does come back, we are going to be switching on to the Mavericks. So, for the Jazz last night, we had Donovan Mitchell. He went manic, 32 points, 6 assists, 6 rebounds. Rudy Gobert, he only had 5 points, but he did have 17 boards. We love that. Bojan Bogdanovic getting it done, 26 points, second leading scorer, 4 assists, 5 rebounds to go along with that as well. Mike Conley, a solid 13.6 rebounds. And then off the bench, nothing great. Jordan Clarkson only took 7 shots yesterday. What is that about? That's low for him. He only had 10 points. Hassan Whiteside, 3 points, 8 rebounds. Nothing really kind of great in that. And then Daniel House Jr., nice 7 points as well. But overall, this Jazz team only putting up 99 points, struggling, getting locked up by the Dallas Mavericks defense yesterday. Not looking great for the Jazz throughout this playoff tournament. If they somehow escape this first round because Luka Doncic cannot play at all this series, the Jazz will get swept next round regardless. So, this is not the Jazz's year. This is the same old Jazz that we all know. So, keep that in mind when you're betting against the spread. We'll see if the spread changes from game 1 to game 2. Does Luka Doncic play? Yes or no? We'll keep an eye on that. But real no believability in this Jazz team. All right, and then for the Mavericks last night, no Luka Doncic, so Spencer Dinwiddie fills in for him at the 1 and did a solid job. I mean, we know Spencer Dinwiddie has been an absolute force here ever since he got traded to this Mavericks team midway in the season. So he steps in at the 1, 22 points, 8 assists, 4 rebounds, 0-4 from the 3, which is definitely not Luka Doncic-esque, but we could take 22 and 8. That's real solid. That's real solid to make up for no Luka Doncic. So Spencer Dinwiddie doing his thing. We had Jalen Brunson, 24 points, 5 assists, 7 rebounds, solid game as well, another 20-plus point performer. We had Reggie Bullock, 15 points, and that man shot 3 of 8 from 3 and was hitting some clutch-as-heck shots late in the second half to try to narrow down their deficit and to keep the game close. So shout out to Reggie Bullock. And then Dorian Finney-Smith with a solid 14 points, 5 rebounds. And then Dwight Powell at the 5, 4 points, 5 rebounds. Once again, Rudy Gobert dominates. Why does Rudy Gobert not have 30 points last night? The Jazz, stop with the outside shooting. Stop trying to go tit for tat shooting outside with this Mavericks team. Use your advantage. Use your beef. You've got Royce O'Neal, who's a real solid 4, beefy 4, but we're talking about Rudy Gobert. Get this man involved down low, folks. And I would say he has more than one shot last night. Who's crediting this man with all these shots? All these kind of dropped passes in the paint. Those missed dunks. He had like 3 missed dunks, I want to say, in the first quarter. Like the first 5 minutes, they were trying to get it to Rudy Gobert down low. So I don't know how they credit this man with only one shot. Here it is. Rudy Gobert, yeah, right here, missed tip, dunk shot. Is this his only shot for the entire game? 3 minutes in the game, this is the only shot they're crediting him with? This one right here that he missed? Watch it, here they go. Jazz were looking to get out to a really strong start, but Rudy Gobert down low in the paint wasn't able to really capitalize early in the beginning. Look at this, missed putback. That's the one shot he missed. That's the only shot he took all game long. Why? Why a rebound putback you missed? That's your only shot you took all game long? Look at this, folks. Misses it. 9 minutes and 38 seconds left in the first quarter. So I don't know what they're trying to do with Rudy Gobert out here. He's a non-factor. Get this man more involved offensively. Let this man work down low against no other beefs. Until they do that, we're not buying into the Jazz, and we know they're probably not going to do that because the Jazz don't figure out what is wrong with them. That is why this is the same exact Jazz team for the last 3, 4, 5 years. Done with the Jazz. Mavericks kept it close. They deserve a lot of credit for that last night. Unfortunately, could not cover the spread. They lose 99-93. Alrighty, next game up here, we got the Timberwolves at the Grizzlies, and what an absolute upset last night in another game that we called. We took the Grizzlies plus 6.5 points last night, and they went outright by 13. 130-117, Timberwolves winning on the road. We wanted to see how this series was going to play out, so we took the big old points with the Timberwolves because we know they match up well. They really match up extremely well with this Grizzlies team. Everybody on the Timberwolves, they're long, they're tall. This Timberwolves team is pretty deep. Same thing with the Mavericks, we know. So this Timberwolves team can match up the starting lineup. They can match the bench, the rotations. This Timberwolves team will match up throughout the entire game, and that's exactly what they did. Another huge, great selling point for this Timberwolves team is that they can go against Steven Adams, and Steven Adams doesn't really have an answer. We know Steven Adams is a good defensive big, but we're talking about Karl Anthony Towns, folks. This is a new level of bigs out here that Steven Adams really can't lock down. I mean, Karl Anthony Towns last night, 29 points, second leading scorer, 13 rebounds, led the team in rebounds, led the game in rebounds. Brandon Clark was the only other player to have a good set of good amount of rebounds with 12. So Karl Anthony Towns is out rebounding the entire game. Second leading scorer, third leading scorer for the entire game last night. Karl Anthony Towns is eating against Steven Adams, and that's where the Grizzlies are going to run into the issue. They need a dominant big offensively, defensively, and if they don't have that, I don't know if this Grizzlies team is going to survive this series, folks. I know we called the Grizzlies winning 4-2, but after game 1 of this series, this could be a Timberwolves upset, folks. The Grizzlies, we're going to give it another game. We're not totally off the Grizzlies yet. We're going to see how they respond in game 2. I think they will have a good game 2. I just think kind of the pressure from the media, them being kind of the high seed, home game first round, a lot of pressure on them to come out and win game 1. So I think maybe the pressure got to the Grizzlies a tad yesterday. So we will give the Grizzlies game 2 to see if they can make the necessary adjustments. But this Timberwolves team matches up great, folks. Anthony Edwards went manic last night. 36 points, 6 assists. Well done. D'Angelo Russell, 10 points, 9 assists, and he didn't even shoot well. They won and put up 130 points with D'Angelo Russell shooting 18% on 11 shots last night. This is a great sign for the Timberwolves moving forward. Watch out, folks. If we're still getting points game 2 with the Timberwolves, we're definitely going to take that and just kind of see how the Grizzlies respond. But this Timberwolves team, folks, absolutely great showing last night. And then we get the bench, folks. Jaden McDaniels, 15 points, 7 rebounds. Malik Beasley, 23 points, 5 rebounds coming off the bench deep. The big 3 got it done. The depth got it done. And then Patrick Beverley being that dog that you need on your team. 10 points, 6 assists, 6 rebounds last night for Patrick Beverley, and hounding everybody on that Grizzlies team. You love it, folks. Timberwolves win outright. Watch out for the Timberwolves. All right, and then for the Grizzlies, Ja Morant, 32 points, 8 assists, solid game overall. Once again, we know this Grizzlies team is very Ja Morant dependent when he's out there on the floor. When he's not there out on the floor, we know they can still win. But, 18 shots, 32 points. He's going inside trying to dunk on everybody. Somebody just put it actually great. I think somebody really kind of compared Ja Morant to like prime Russell Westbrook yesterday during the telecast. And that's kind of exactly what Ja Morant is. Explosive, ball dominant, maybe gets a little too out of control here or there. So Ja Morant will have to kind of rein it in a tad in game 2, maybe facilitate the floor a little more, just a little more, to see if that can help him out. But we'll see how Ja Morant kind of changes in game 1 to game 2. He had 20 free throws last night. The man shot 16 of 20 from the stripe, half of his points coming from that free throw line. So being aggressive, all of that did not really work for the Grizzlies yesterday. Then we had Desmond Bane, 17 points, 3 rebounds. Dillon Brooks, 24 points on 50% shooting. And then Jaren Jackson Jr., 12 points, but 0 of 5 from the 3. And that leaves Steven Adams, 0 points on 0 shots, 3 assists, 3 rebounds. Once again, Steven Adams getting absolutely bullied by Karl Anthony Towns. And, that's kind of what we said, in the kind of preview of the series. We thought Steven Adams would do a little bit better of a job than what we saw yesterday. But if Karl Anthony Towns can keep up that level of play, we know this is a big world, folks, and the Grizzlies don't have that big. Nothing great coming off the bench besides Brandon Clark, 13 points on 85% shooting, very well done, 12 rebounds as well for him. So everything was coming together for Brandon Clark, but everybody else just coming up a little lackluster yesterday. So Timberwolves get that big first win, upsetting on the road, 130-117, and they may be able to steal this entire series. We'll see how game number 2 plays out, what adjustments both teams make, but watch out for this Timberwolves team. If they can get out against this Grizzlies team, they may be able to come out of the Western Conference. It would be the only team that would be able to knock off this Timberwolves team would be the Suns, folks. So truly, watch out and give respect to this Timberwolves team. It's all starting to come together. The big 3 is playing absolutely fantastic. Well done for Anthony Edwards, 36 giant points. Wow, oh wow. Timberwolves with the dominant win, 130-117. All right, next game up, we got the Raptors at the 76ers, and we swallowed only 4.5 here with the 76ers, and that was absolutely fantastic because they win by 20, folks. We knew this 76ers team would dominate game 1. We'll talk about this matchup back in game number 2. We might swing the other way with the Raptors, but we knew game 1, the 76ers would come out hot as heck, and that's exactly what happened. They put up 131 points and win 131-111 over the Raptors. James Harden doing his thing, 22 points, 14 assists, magnificent. Tyrese mother-loving Maxey, folks, man, 38 points for the kid, led the team in scoring. Joel Embiid, 19 points, 15 rebounds, a little light. The man only shot 33% on 15 shots from the field a little bit, so Joel Embiid getting a tad locked up. This is why potentially the Raptors can still have success in this series. Joel Embiid didn't do anything kind of truly dominant last night. It was just everybody was good to go game number 1. Great game by James Harden. Great game by Tyrese Maxey. Joel Embiid, this is still a great game. 19 points, 15 rebounds. It's just a little light on what he gives us. And then this is the deciding factor right here. Tobias Harris, 26 points, 6 assists, 6 rebounds. Holy moly, 3 of 5 from the 3. Second leading scorer, all that jazz. And why this is so great for the 76ers? Because we need Tobias Harris. He's the 4th scoring option. So the fact that he's able to find his rhythm offensively early in the series, this is truly going to help the 76ers not only in this series, but in their playoff hunt as the playoffs continue. So truly, shout out to Tobias Harris. Hopefully he can keep up this level of production. Danny Green in the starting lineup because I believe Matisse Thybulle cannot play. the away games because I believe he is unvaccinated, so he cannot get into Canada. I believe that is what is happening. So they have Danny Green in the starting lineup, so they have some consistency in the starting lineup this series. So it's not, all right, Danny Green, you're off the bench. All right, now Matisse Thybulle, you have to go down to the bench because, we're on the road here. So 76ers going to be starting Danny Green for basically this entire series, and he didn't do anything great. Classic 2 points, 1 of 6 from the field, 0 of 5 from the 3. Classic Danny Green. Couldn't do anything last night. In the starting lineup, Shake Milton off the bench, 10 points. Georges Niang coming off the bench, 8 points, 3 of 4 from the field. So we'll take that. Solid production there. But man, oh man, the starters all got it done. 1 through 4. Once again, Danny Green, nothing great. But man, oh man, the 76ers absolutely dominated with their stars last night. All right, and then for the Raptors, we had Fred VanVleet. That man got into early foul trouble. Could not be as aggressive as we see Fred VanVleet usually is. Either way, he had 18 points, 6 assists, not bad. We had Scotty Barnes playing the 5 last night, 15 points, 10 rebounds, 8 assists, really solid level of play. Siakam, 24 points, 7 assists, and then OG Anunoby with a nice 20.7 rebound performance on 60% shooting. Gary Trent Jr. let the Raptors down a little bit last night, 2 of 7 from the 3, 18% shooting on 11 shots for only 9 points last night. The bench, nothing great for the Raptors. We had Chris Boucher, 7 points. Precious, 9 points, 4 rebounds. So we'll see how this Raptors team responds, what adjustments Nick Nurse make. We know we can rely on Nick Nurse to kind of be competitive in this series and get better from game 1, from game 2, game by game. Now that he knows some of the 76ers game plan and what they do, and we know Nick Nurse can kind of, schematically defend very well and game plan like that. So we know Nick Nurse is going to make adjustments from game number 1 to game number 2. So we still got a day to kind of sleep on it and to see how everything kind of plays out and shakes out, but we may flip to the Raptors getting points in game number 2. Once again, based on what the line is and all that. But 76ers dominate game 1, set the tone, and we'll see how the Raptors respond. 76ers get the win 121-111. All right, and then the last game of last night, folks, we had the Nuggets at the Warriors, and this was the only game we got wrong last night. Warriors get the win 123-107. They cover the 6.5, minus 6.5. We took the Nuggets plus 6.5. We just wanted to see how this series was going to shake out, so we took the points in game 1, and this series is shaking out a little bit kind of how we saw it. We did say the Warriors win in 7, 4-3, but we did think the Nuggets would be a little bit more competitive than what they were. Now, the Warriors, the Nuggets, they did have a nice lead for most of the first half, but then the Warriors took over and never looked back, folks. So they get the 123-107. What is that, 15-point win last night? So for the Warriors, they were able to lock up Jokic a little bit better than we were kind of initially anticipating. So shout out to Draymond Green for that. Draymond Green, a plus 21 on the floor last night, 12 points, 9 assists, 6 rebounds, just being that big beef down low, stopping Jokic from going manic. We had Andrew Wiggins, only 16 points, 9 rebounds. Kevon Looney, 6.7 rebounds, classic Kevon Looney game. Jordan Poole in the starting lineup. We knew Steph Curry was going to play last night. We didn't expect him to come off the bench, but he came off the bench last night on 21 minutes. So Jordan Poole in the starting lineup, and we know Jordan Poole goes absolutely manic whenever he's in the starting lineup, and last night was no different. 30 points by Jordan Poole, led the team in scoring, 5 of 7 from the 3, shooting 69% on 13 shots. In Jordan Poole we trust. We've got splash triplets. This is no longer splash brothers. This man is getting it done in the playoffs now. We knew he was good. He's passing all the tests, folks. How many more tests do we need to throw at Jordan Poole to truly recognize that this man is like elite, like maybe even Steph Curry elite? It could get crazy, folks. Starting lineup this season, because no Klay Thompson. The man was passing with flying colors every single game. Do y'all need the reminder? The Warriors were like, what, the number 1, 2 seed early on this year? in the Western Conference, and then just settled around 3 for the rest of the year. So once he was in the starting lineup, they were winning, fantastic, winning games, not really missing Klay Thompson that much. That's test pass number 1. And then when Klay Thompson comes back, he has to go down to the bench. And what happened? They kept winning. He kept giving us great performances every single night. So that's test pass number 2. And then test number 3, hey, can you get it done in the starting lineup in the playoffs with no Steph Curry? Can you get it done then? And Jordan Poole said, of course. What, have you not been watching me all year long? And this man dropped 30 points, shot better than Klay Thompson, shot better than Steph Curry coming off the bench. This man was a huge reason why they were dominant and had that 15-point win against the Nuggets last night. So in Jordan Poole we trust, and now this is officially no longer Splash Brothers. That is old news. That's 2014-15 Splash Brothers. We now officially have Splash triplets here in Golden State, folks. Jordan Poole, Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, the Splash triplets, folks. Recognize, respect. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes. Let me hear a yes. Thank you, folks. Get it done, Jordan Poole. Get it done, young fella. And man, oh man, it does seem like the Warriors are going to be winning this series, folks. Steph Curry, let's finish this out. Steph Curry coming off the bench for 21 minutes, 16 points, 4 assists, 3 rebounds to help out. And man, oh man, it was all enough to get the win. And then for this Nuggets team, and once again, we gave the Nuggets a chance. We said if the Nuggets just went to Jokic down low all game and scored 40 points, Jokic down low in the paint, then they would be able to win this series. But the Warriors were able to lock up Jokic a little bit better than what we were initially anticipating. So shout out to Draymond Green, and also I apologize to Draymond Green because, you know, we shout this man out all the time. We go to bat for Draymond Green. A lot of people don't really count him a part of the dynasty or a part of the big three there of that Warriors team and everything like that. We always gave that man praise and credit for everything that this Warriors team has accomplished. Draymond Green is a huge piece of that. Leader, heart, dog, defense, all of that. But we didn't give him a lot of credit going against Jokic in this series. So truly, we apologize to Draymond Green for that. Jokic, he had 25 points, 10 rebounds, 6 assists, 3 steals, 0 of 4 from the 3, and 48% on 25 shots. So not efficient last night for Jokic, and that was really their downfall because we know this Nuggets team doesn't really have any really great pieces besides Jokic. Will Barton, had a really good night, 24 points, 5 assists, 6 rebounds, but everything else truly lackluster. We're back down to Aaron Gordon putting up sub 10 points. The man put up 8 points last night. We need him in 20 plus. The man shot 30%, so Aaron Gordon letting us down. Jeff Green only took 3 shots for his 7 points. We had Monte Morris shooting 44% for only 10 points, and then the bench, Bones Highland gets it done. Thank you, Bones Highland, 10 points, 3 assists, 2 rebounds. In Bones Highland we trust. Bryn Forbes only playing 13 minutes. He put up 5 points, 2 of 4 from the field. And then DeMarcus Cousins only getting 9 minutes as well, 7 points, 2 assists, 2 rebounds. So, man, oh man, nobody else helping out Jokic. Why he deserves a little bit of that MVP award, because he does not have superstars on deck and, 2s and 3s to help him out. He's really just kind of playing out there by his lonesome. So Jokic, not enough to get it done, not enough to carry it himself. And this Nuggets team is truly going to have to focus on winning those home games. The only way the Nuggets win this series is take care of business at home, force that game 7 on the road, and then just hope by some miracle the Splash triplets go cold for one game. That is the only avenue for this Nuggets team to win this first round matchup. So think we're going to be swallowing points with the Warriors come game 2. The Nuggets will not be able to win on the road in the series. There is no way. So, Warriors get the win 123-107 last night, and we are still rocking with the Warriors, and I think I am flipping my bet. If we're still getting Warriors -6 or whatever it is, we will swallow that in game 2. So just to recap, are these series playing out like we initially thought? Jazz, Mavericks, first one. Well, Luka Doncic threw a wrench in that plan. I think we did have the Mavericks winning, correct? Let me double check my brackets here. I think we did have the Mavericks coming out of this series. Let me see if I can bring up these brackets quickly. Can we refresh the brackets? Will they come up? I don't know why they don't want to load. Alrighty. But either way, Jazz, once Luka Doncic comes back, we're off the Jazz. Now, next series, Timberwolves, Grizzlies. Well, we thought the Timberwolves would be competitive. I don't know if it was going to be like this right off the rip on the road, but there it is. So Timberwolves, yeah, we could see them winning this series now. Raptors, 76ers playing out exactly how we thought so far. We'll see how we played in game number 2. And then Nuggets, Warriors. I think the Warriors are definitely hands down. I don't even know if this is a debate anymore, if the Warriors win the series or not. Warriors win the series. Once again, the only way the Nuggets do, if they take care of business, win all 3 home games, and then on that game 7, they have to hope that everybody on the Warriors is not playing well. Alrighty, before we talk about the matchups today, let's quickly talk about these 2 stories floating around. So after we got done yesterday on the show, and once again yesterday on the show, we talked about Ben Simmons. We get him dunking yesterday, and that's supposed to kind of once again make us afraid of the Nets with Ben Simmons returning. But once again, if he does return a little bit later in the series, they're really only expecting 10 to 15 minutes, folks. Do not get distracted by the brainwashing that is still currently going around, folks. The brainwashing will not stop even once the Nets lose this series and get knocked out of the playoffs round 1. The people will still be brainwashing you on the Nets. So we're never going to be able to get rid of the Nets brainwashing, but we can try to avoid it, folks. We don't have to buy into that, folks. We don't buy into that, so we don't have to buy into that. Stop buying into the Nets. The man is dunking against nobody. Once again, 1-on-0. We know he's practicing 1-on-0. He can go against no contact. We read that in the article yesterday. So him dunking, a little bit of a rim grazer, dunk right there. We're supposed to be impressed because he's dunking against nobody. All right, Benny. Yeah, once again, not afraid of the Nets. And then the last story up here, good news for the Hawks. I don't know if it's going to be enough, but John Collins will play in game number 1 today against the Heat, barring any setback during warmups. But getting John Collins back after losing Clint Capella, so they'll have another solid beef down there. He'll play the 4, but I don't know if John Collins is going to be enough for us to bet on this Hawks team. I know he's not going to be enough for us to bet on this Hawks team, but it's unfortunate. But John Collins back, give the Hawks a little extra boost to try and help them win game 1 on the road against the Heat. I don't see it happening, but we'll see how it all shakes out. John Collins going to be out there for game number 1. Alrighty, now let's see what we have on the menu tonight. Spreads, value, all of that, folks, for another great day. We went 3 of 4 yesterday in our picks, and we're ready to go 4 for 4, and I'm feeling great about these matchups, folks. So gosh dang good. Feeling so gosh dang good. So let's see what we've got going on today. Once again, another entire full day of NBA playoff basketball, the golden era. And then what do we get throughout the week? We get 3. Let me double check here the calendar. I think we get 3. Yeah, 3 games Monday, 3 games Tuesday, 3 games Wednesday, 3 games Thursday, 3 games Friday, 4 games Saturday, 4 games Sunday. So this week, folks, it continues all week. This is the golden era. Do not miss it, folks. It comes around once a year. Do not miss it. I love the first round of the NBA playoffs. Alrighty, here we go. First game on deck today, 1 o'clock tip-off. We got Hawks at the Heat. Hawks plus 6.5, Heat minus 6.5, and I do not like these points at all, folks. I am loving the Heat minus 6 for the Hawks. We get Lou Williams and Clint Capella out. We told y'all John Collins will be playing. For the Heat, everybody's good to go, and I am loving the Heat minus 6.5. This Hawks team will not be able to compete without Clint Capella. Bam Adebayo is going to go manic today, folks. Manic. We're going to have an additional prop bet for y'all to take. Bam Adebayo, points, rebounds, assists. Let's get these numbers up here. Points, rebounds, assists. Bam Adebayo over 34.5. This is a lot. This is a lot more than I thought. If it was 29, I would take it. 30, I would take it. But 34.5, that is kind of right on the hook. So we'll stay away from betting Bam Adebayo over 34.5 points, rebounds, assists. But just expect Bam Adebayo to dominate the floor. And in turn of Bam Adebayo dominating down low in the paint, the Heat will cover the -6.5. They are at full strength for this playoff run. We have to remind y'all the Heat are the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference. The Hawks just came out of a play-in tournament that went down to the wire, that called for all the stops to be pulled out, for Trae Young to go manic in the second half just to win by a slim margin. This Heat team will be able to lock up the Hawks, will be able to lock up Trae Young. They'll be able to be feasting down low in the paint because of no Clint Capella. I am gushing over this number right here, folks. Only have to swallow 6.5. This is an easy 10-point win for this Heat team. No contest. Loving the Heat here. We're swallowing all 6.5 points. Not even second guessing on that. Love the Heat. Please do not bet the Hawks today, folks. It is not it. Alrighty, next game up here, we get the Nets at the Celtics. Nets +4, Celtics -4, and this is the game, folks. This is a game that we have been waiting for. We've been waiting for this game for like 2 months. We knew this was going to be a first-round matchup. We knew this in our bones, that the Celtics and Nets would face round 1, folks. And here we are. We've been talking up, gushing over this Celtics team, while the media have been gushing over and talking up the Nets. Y'all have been on the Nets. We have been on the Celtics. And now we clash. We have doubled down. We have tripled down. We have quadrupled down on calling the Nets non-scary. To go a little festive today, a little Easter festive. This Nets team are Easter bunny, soft, loving. You take your kids to go see the Nets. Get a little picture on their lap. Oh, the Nets are going to be coming. When you tell the children, hey, the Nets are coming to our house while y'all are sleeping, and they'll be dropping off eggs and Easter baskets. The children, they don't get afraid. Oh my God, the Nets are coming. Oh no, I'm scared of the Nets. No, they love the Nets. Oh, the Nets are bringing us presents. The Nets are bringing us eggs. The Nets are bringing us Easter baskets. Look at me sitting on the Nets' lap. Oh, I'm so happy. And I told the Nets what I wanted for Easter and all that, and now they're here, and it's so fun, and it's joyous. Yes. But y'all want everybody to be scared of the Nets. The children are not scared of the Nets. This is not a scary team. The Nets are fluffy bunnies, Easter bunny, folks. You're not scared. The children are not scared of the Easter bunny. So, this is our takes versus y'all's take. Who knows what they're talking about, us or y'all? We go head to head today, 3:30. I love the Celtics. I love the Celtics in playoff fashion. I put $10,000 on the Celtics to win by 14.5. I got the Celtics -14.5 on $10,000. Now, I had to go down to a shady person because all the sports books were not offering me -14.5 points. I think DraftKings only allows Celtics -9.5. I want to go all the way up to 15, so I went 14.5. I'm not going to get hit by the half-point hook. The Celtics will win by 15 points, folks. We are once again quadrupling down. We are giving no credit to this Nets team. Even without Robert Williams, we are still digging down, quadrupling down that we still believe in this Celtics team. The Celtics will win with Daniel Tice, folks. They'll still be able to beat the big old scary Nets with Daniel Tice in the starting lineup, folks. We do not care. In Celtics we trust. In Jason Tatum Tatum, we trust. In Marcus, mother loving Smart, we trust. A1. No. Tier 1 point guard. Can't put him in the A1 Tier 1 category just quite yet, but he is Tier 1 point guard in this league. The Celtics defense will smother the Nets. The Nets don't play any defense. Today is the start of a crumbling narrative, and my narratives will not be crumbly because my shit is my narratives are very, very good cooked cookies. They don't crumble. Y'all's cookies, they crumble. You touch it, it's like sand. It just crumbles. How am I supposed to eat this? I go to pick it up, it falls. It's all crumbles. It's like a Nature Valley bar. All crumbs. Y'all's narratives on this Nets team being scary, it's crumbs. Y'all are crumb Nature Valley bars, okay? I'm a nice warm Pillsbury Doughboy cookie, folks. Yes, you pull it apart and you can just see it goozing and oozing. That chocolate chips dripping as you pull that cookie apart. Like a good grilled cheese, you pull it apart and that cheese string, it stretches and it's ooey and gooey. Y'all heard, let me go off on this tangent because this is getting under my skin a little bit. Y'all heard that new Chick-fil-A radio commercial? It's a little ridiculous and it needs to stop. That one girl talking about the Chick-fil-A mac and cheese, and how does she put it? She these are her exact words, folks, and it makes me angry when I hear this being said. Who the hell came up with this? They say in the Chick-fil-A radio ad, she says, "Ooh, this gooey mac makes me cheese every time." The fuck did you just say? Who wrote that? Don't you ever say that again. That just sounds disgusting. It does not hit my ears well. I don't want to hear somebody talking about their gooey mac. I don't want to hear anybody say that somebody's mac and cheese makes you cheese. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that at all. This ooey gooey mac makes me cheese every time. Don't say that to me, please. Don't ever utter those words like that again. In the tone, in the diction that she uses, like she's trying to do a little bit of an innuendo there. Stop it. You're Chick-fil-A. You're closed on Sunday. Stop saying this mac and cheese is making you cheese. Stop it. But we go back to this game. Let's digress a little bit. The Nets are not scary. Stop it with the Nets. Celtics all day. Celtics to win the series. Celtics to sweep the series. You want me to go crazy? I'll go crazy now. Y'all want to get crazy? The Nets are going to the finals. Mike Greenberg, Chris Broussard. The Nets are coming out of the East for the finals. No, they're not. If y'all are going to that extreme, I'll go to this extreme. Celtics in 4. Celtics in 4. Winning by 15 every single game. Celtics, I bleed green. In Ime Udoka, we trust. In Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, we trust. Yes. In Derek White, we trust. I am loving this Celtics team. Swallow 9.5. Swallow 4. Whatever you've got it at, we don't care. 14.5. The Nets will not win this series, folks. Y'all versus us. This should be a pay-per-view event. They should be charging $500 to watch this matchup. It's a blockbuster, folks. It's gonna be it's not even gonna be a slobber knocker. We're calling 4-0 Celtics, folks. Celtics, folks. Celtics will win. Y'all are wrong. We are right. Like usual. Sorry, not sorry, folks. We're loving the Celtics, folks. Celtics -4. Alrighty, and then the last two games on tonight, folks. And once again, this is not even a debate. These are easy peasy 4-0 sweeps. Let's go over the first one. Bucks -10.5. Yes. Don't care who's in and out. I do not care. Bulls versus the Bucks. Bulls on the road. This Bucks team is going to absolutely go manic. And this is the actual prop bet I do want to choose with the bigs. Bam Adebayo. Vegas is playing the number very, very tight at 34.5. points, rebounds, and assists. But this one is better, folks. Here we go. We are going to the Bucks here, and we're betting on Brook Lopez, folks. Brook Lopez over 17.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Brook Lopez will dominate. This Bucks team will dominate down low. Vucevic cannot do anything against the bigs of this Bucks team. We know the big three of the Bulls, DeMar DeRozan, Zach LaVine, they're all good, but Vucevic cannot get it done against good bigs. Brook Lopez will dominate and cover the 17.5 points, rebound, assists. I love that prop bet so gosh dang much, folks. Bet that. So Bucks will dominate. We know the Bulls are frauds. This is not going to be a close game. Swallowing 10.5 is the easy peasy money. Easy peasy, folks. All these spreads are so gosh damn great, folks. I love them. I would probably parlay all 4 of them together. I do not care. For the Bulls, everybody's good to go but Lonzo Ball. Then for the Bucks, everybody's good to go. So yes, Bucks at full strength, Bucks at home, Bucks wanting to repeat champions, and the Bulls are going to get in the way? Absolutely not, folks. This Bulls team has been fraudulent all year long. We know this. The Bucks kind of sold the last game of the year just to get this matchup. They're going to exterminate them. Bucks minus 10.5 is the easiest value. Yes, this is a big spread. This does not scare us, though, like the scary nuts are supposed to scare us. No. We have faced our fears, folks, of big spreads. This is not a scary spread anymore. Bucks minus 10, that's easy money. Bet that. Swallow the 10.5, no problem. And then we get the Pelicans at the Suns. Pelicans plus 10.5. Suns minus 10.5. And this is the exact same thing right here, folks. Suns minus 10.5. Easy peasy. Easiest spread. Easiest spread here again. Swallowing 10 points is the value today. How crazy is that? All these values are great, but Suns minus 10.5. Bucks minus 10.5. Yes, they may seem like too much, but no. These teams will win by 20 easy. These teams will both be up by 20 at halftime, no problem. The bigs will dominate. The Bulls do not have the bigs to keep up with the Bucks, so it's game over. It's already game over. 4-0 series sweep. In the Pelicans, Valanciunas was struggling against Jacob Poeltl. Of course he's going to struggle against DeAndre Ayton. No debate, no contest, folks. Suns minus 10.5. Suns at home, man oh man. Let's check the ins and outs here. For the Pelicans, everybody's good to go. And then for the Suns, we get Darius Saric still out and Landry Shamet, a game-time decision. But the key is DeAndre Ayton is good to go, folks. And as we talk about DeAndre Ayton, can we bet him on the points plus rebounds plus assists, our favorite prop bet to bet? Or is his number a little bit like Bam Adebayo, a little bit too high for us to call? So DeAndre Ayton over 30.5. I'm taking that. He's easily going to get 15 and 15. 15 points, 15 rebounds at minimum. That puts us at the 30. We have the half a point hook at 30.5. And, one assist, maybe one more point, one more rebound puts him over the hook. So DeAndre Ayton over 30.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Brook Lopez over 17.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Take those 2 prop bets, folks, on these dominating teams, folks. The Bucks and the Suns will absolutely obliterate their round 1 matchups. These are not going to be competitive. The games last night, the games yesterday, overall a little competitive. We had the Timberwolves upsetting. We had the Jazz winning on the road, but overall that game was close. Raptors 76ers game wasn't really close, and Nuggets Warriors game wasn't really close after halftime. All 4 of these games will not be close, folks. All these are dominating wins, especially the Bucks, especially the Suns, and especially the mother-loving Celtics. Y'all are wrong. We are right. We are not wavering on that. We are not scared. Do you see how steady this hand is, folks? You see this hand shaking at all? You think I'm scared of the Nets? Of course not, folks. Celtics. So, we've got 7 bets for y'all endorsed that will all hit today, folks. Heat minus 6.5. Celtics minus 9.5. Celtics minus 4. Get it whatever you want. Bet it all the way up to the highest. Bet it the normal way. Celtics minus 9.5. Celtics minus 4. We love it both ways. A win by 15. No problem. Bucks minus 10.5. Suns minus 10.5, and then our two favorite prop bets, Brook Lopez over 17.5 points, rebounds, and assists, and DeAndre Ayton over 30.5 points, rebounds, and assists. All right, and then there's one more way. There's one more way to bet the games today, folks. If you're a little bit worried, if you're not as confident as me in all these picks, maybe you like the Nets plus the 4, something like that, more, or something like that. This is how I would tell y'all to bet this if you have a little reservations. Do a 4-point teaser, folks. 4-point teaser. It's very, very good. If you do a 4-point teaser, it all come down 4 points. So you get the Heat minus 2.5. You get the Celtics even, so all they have to do is win. Bucks minus 6.5. Suns minus 6.5. And the odds on this one, folks, are plus 290. This is a real great teaser right here. 4-point teaser, and you still get great odds at plus 290. If you're a little hesitant to take the 10-point spreads and want a little bit more easier value to hit, take a 4-point teaser on all these fours, and you bet $100 on plus 290, you're walking away with $400. You win $390, folks. It's great. So that's still great value in my opinion for the overall cost. So however you want to bet it with the better value, bet it with the better money. However you wanted to bet it nonetheless, because it's all happening today, folks. Alrighty, that is all the NBA we had to go over for today, and we are 9 minutes away from tip-off today, but there are a couple of stories in the NFL or just some stories. This first one's a basketball story, but it ties into all the football that we've been talking about, so let's close the show out on all of this. Alright, we go back to the 2018 playoffs here. And once again, this just goes back to everybody relaxing. If we're calling you trash, relax, folks. This is how people just talk. This is how people just talk casually about sports, about their team, about everything. We get Drake sitting courtside against the Raptors, and he calls Kelly Oubre Jr. a bum. A bum. Oh my gosh, should we all be getting upset at Drake? Drake knows what it takes to reach the highest of his industry. You know, what the grind entails to reach the highest level of his industry. And here he is calling another person at the highest level of their industry, basketball, calling them a bum. This is how everybody talks, even people that play basketball. You know how they talk just casually to their friends. They call that people bums. Other people at the highest peak of their industry, they call other people at the peak of their industry bums, trash. This is how people talk. It's not meant as disrespect. Once again, intention. This is competition. This is your team versus my team. Digs, subtle digs, smurfiness, non-disrespectful disrespect. Yes, folks. So everybody relax when we call people trash. A little hyperbole. Never heard anybody relax. We're just talking. These are not official statements. We're just talking out here, folks. So everybody relax. Sam Darnold, stop wanting to boo everybody. Baker Mayfield, stop wanting to boo everybody because somebody called you trash. Yeah, people do it. Celebrities do it. Drake does it. NBA players do it. Professional athletes do it to other professional athletes. Tom Brady, you're sticking with that motherfucker over me. Once again, folks, it's just talking. Everybody relax. We all need to rein it in and relax a little bit. I never apologize, but I will continue to no longer apologize for calling Aaron Rodgers, unclutch and trash and not a good leader. I do not care. It's talking, folks. Everybody relax. Drake calling Kelly Oubre Jr. a bum courtside in the playoffs. Okay, relax. People talk, even celebrities talk, even people with all that money talk, okay? People talk, okay? Relax. People talk, okay? Relax. Those are the 3 takeaways. People talk, okay? We understand that? Okay, now relax, yes? Everybody relax. Jeez Louise. All right, the House Oversight Committee. Let's try to get into this article and try to get this out of the way. Could we get the House Oversight Committee on this Washington Commanders team? Once again, Daniel Snyder in hot water. Has been in hot water for years, but everybody looks the other way. Is this time finally going to catch up to him now because it is with money this time? So let's quickly read what we get here and see how far we can make it, because we are 6 minutes away from tip-off. But let's see how far we get so we can truly close out this story and wait for the next update to this ever-going Dan Snyder Washington scandal story. But here we go. Congress details allegations of Commanders' unlawful conduct to the FTC. The Washington Commanders and owner Daniel Snyder, quote, may have engaged in a troubling, long-running, and potentially unlawful pattern of financial conduct. Messing with the money, that's always going to get you got. Never mess with the money. You can mess with everything else. You can mess with human lives. You can, mess with minorities, but you don't mess with the money. And that's exactly what Dan Snyder is going to get caught for, folks. All right, so unlawful pattern of financial conduct that allegedly involved withholding as much as $5 million in refundable deposits from season ticket holders and also hiding money that was supposed to be shared among NFL owners, according to a letter sent from the House Committee on Oversight and Reform to the Federal Trade Commissions on Tuesday. So not only was he screwing over the other NFL owners, but he was also screwing over the fans, the season ticket holders. Once again, this is not a good guy. He should have been forced to sell the team scandals ago. The cheerleader scandal should have got it done. The sexual harassment in the workplace scandal should have gotten it done. But the money will finally get him done, folks. All right, continuing on, the 20-page letter, a copy of which was obtained by the Washington Post, freshly details allegations made by Jason Friedman, a former vice president of sales and consumer service who worked for the franchise for 24 years. The letter says Friedman told committee members the team maintained 2 sets of books, including 1 set of financial records used to underreport certain ticket revenue to the NFL. The letter cites documentation that the team's financial improprieties may have extended to tickets registered in Commissioner Roger Goodell's name. It references evidence that it says indicates that the revenue gained by the team through these practices was known internally as quote-unquote juice, and it details allegations that the Commanders improperly attributed such revenue to being derived from a Navy Notre Dame college game at FedEx Field or a Kenny Chesney concert, so it wouldn't be a part of the NFL's shared revenue pool. Wow. The allegations of financial improprieties came to light as the committee reviewed documents and interviewed witnesses in its inquiry of the team's workplace and NFL's handling of the matter. The team has broadly denied such allegations. Once again, we never did anything wrong. We're always right. We're not apologizing. We didn't do wrong. We know this. We heard it. We hear everybody say that, folks. Everybody says, "Oh, of course we didn't do that. We did none of that." Even though we have credible whistleblowers with evidence going against you. Once again, nobody admits when they're wrong, even when kind of, you're in the got phase. So, all right, folks, that's what, is currently going on with Washington. Financial withholding ticket revenue, so they didn't have to pay 2 sets of books, which you get 1 book. That's every business. You get 1 book, and you better make sure that book is tight T, white T. Yes, folks, because if it's not, you're going down. And if you have 2 books, woof. That's a woof right there. Big elephant in the room. Woof. So we know this is probably going to take Daniel Snyder down, which is good. He needs to be forced to sell the team. The man has been an awful representation of an owner, of somebody with higher power that holds a high position. He's a case study that you use to be like, what the hell happened? This man should have never held any sort of power ever. The man cannot handle it. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. The man's got 2 books, okay? That's absolute corruption. Alrighty, folks, we're going to get out of here for today. We are 2 minutes away from tip-off, and we got playoff basketball to watch and win money on. So we're going to get out of here for today. Back live tomorrow, noon Eastern, doing it all again. We will probably be able to get to Kenny Pickett tomorrow. Going to be fantastic watching him as a draft prospect, and we'll see what else kind of arises in the sports world to talk about. Breaking down the games from last night today as well, and betting on the games tomorrow as well, like we do here on the show. So come back tomorrow. We've got all the news that you need to hear. hear all the betting information that you need to hear to win some money. So return to Takes by Fans on the daily, folks. We're telling you, we're here daily. We know what we're talking about daily. We're winning money daily, 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 daily. Stop it with the Monday through Friday. We're daily over here, folks. Today's Sunday. Here I am. I'll be here every Sunday. I'm like the groundhog. I'm here every Sunday. May see my shadow, may not, but I'm here, yes? Alrighty, folks, we're getting out of here. Have an absolute great one. Win a little bit of money. Celtics, Nets, folks. The time has come. The time has come.